Welcome to the latest Facebook ads walkthrough video. Make sure you're subscribed because every 3 to 6 months I come out with a new one of these videos because it updates that frequently. And that is why I say you should not buy a Facebook ads course that is on how to do the technical setup, and I just put it out for free on my YouTube. I don't need to plan for this video. I live this stuff. All I do all day is Facebook and Instagram ads for every kind of industry out there. I'm going to be teaching you what the buttons are for, what the psychology is behind them. Like, this is not going to be a short video. I'm also not going to edit it because I just want to be real. I just want to put out the content. And yeah, I don't need a script. This is going to be an incredible value for you. So like the video and hit the notification bell because every time I come out with a new one of these updates, you're going to want to know about it, because even some of my information on my channel might be a little bit contradictory to information that came out a year before because it updates that frequently. So let's get started here. We're going to be building a campaign for, let's say, a company. We're not going to do a leads video. That's going to be a separate one. I'm going to record that right after, though. If you're a company looking for leads, make sure you go for that one. This is going to be for sales. Now, who should run a sales campaign? Literally every one of you that is going for the objective of getting the credit card right after the ad, always do sales campaign. Never, ever do awareness traffic engagement under any circumstances ever again. Never again. I can't stress this enough. This is how to just burn money. The algorithm at this point is very divided between people who spend money and people who don't. If you want people who spend money, it's leads or sales. Everything else is just a waste of money. It's going to get you what you ask for as cheap as possible. It's going to get you reach. It's going to get you views for as cheap as possible. Who's cheap to show to? People who don't spend money. If you want sales, by God, you better do a sales campaign. Now, here's the other thing. Never, ever do this top one, at least right now at this point in time. I know there's some other YouTubers in my space who say do this. I've tested it a billion times. I'm always the one to be the first one through the door that gets shot. And yeah, I've been shot a lot of times trying this one. This is the easy way. This is the streamlined, tailor, definitely not the best practice way, but this is how Facebook gets people who aren't willing to learn how to do the advanced technical setup to just burn money and give them money quicker. It takes away a bunch of your options. Never do this. Always manual sales campaign. Now, that is how you're going to make a lot of decisions. Every recommendation that Facebook gives you, if you ignore it, you'll be doing great. Never, ever do any meta suggestion, okay? You might see like a couple random cases where I'll tell you where it's okay to do, but never do a meta suggestion. And that's also why you should never book a call with a meta support rep. I just did it a couple months ago just to see maybe there's some new stuff. Maybe they know some stuff. If you learn how to run ads from a meta support rep, these are people who have never run ads in their life. They've never owned a company in their life. And all they will tell you to do is to click all of the meta suggested features, which will screw you over. They are really not even just things that would kind of hurt your campaign. They will completely derail and ruin your chances of getting any results. So who should you follow? Me. Only me. Okay? I can really say that confidently because I've been doing this for 6 years. I have like 30 companies right now that I'm either teaching how to run ads for themselves or running their ads for that company. And it's across all these different industries. My insight is very great. Now, there's other people that are similar at my level, but there's a lot of people out there that are just going to give you bad information. I would highly suggest, if you really want to put me to the test, launch an ad exactly how I'm going to show you. If it doesn't live up to the results, never listen to me again. I put my reputation on that. All right, let's get started. So campaign name, this is going to be whatever product you're selling is what you're going to put here. So let's say hats, all right? We're going to sell hats. None of this crap, all right? None of this SLL65 blah, ASC campaign. Like, everyone's freaking ads are named like this BS right here. As few words as possible, because as soon as this thing fills up, you won't be able to come into Ads Manager without your brain having to spend so much energy to even realize what's going on, okay? Trust me, as soon as you have an account that has tons of ads in it, you will have a nightmare. You want to build this in a way that if someone had never, like someone who's good at ads but comes into your account and doesn't know where anything is, like they can easily find it. It's very clear as day. This is not for you to make little remarks to yourself that only you can understand. Make it just clear, okay? Trust me on that one. Now, Advantage campaign budget. I'm not going to detail exactly what that does. Hopefully you already do know. If not, I detail it on another video on my channel. I would highly recommend that this is on in almost every single circumstance. The only time that it won't be on is if you want to control how much budget is going to certain countries versus other countries. Otherwise, this should be on. A/B test, never on. This will do a test with Facebook that they have control over, and it's just not good. You will be doing split testing, but you'll be doing it manually. Reporting. This is something that I haven't covered in my previous videos. What you're going to do is click right here, and you're going to set this. This is basically like the new kind of lookalike audience, and they just want you to define who your audience is. So engaged audience, what I would recommend you do is you're going to create a custom audience, which is not working for me for some reason at the moment. Let me see if this one will work. Super weird. All right. What you're going to do is here you're going to create all website visitors for 45 days is going to be your engaged audience. And then existing customers is going to be all purchasers in the last 180 days, as well as your email list. So you're going to upload your email list and put all of that in there, and then you're going to put both of those in there. Basically, they just want to know, hey, who's your engaged audience? People who are looking at your products and services actively that we should make sure we show ads to a little bit more so. And then existing customers is just so they know, who are we looking for? This is more so how targeting happens nowadays, is letting them know, hey, here's all of our past customers. Very similar to the psychology of a lookalike audience, where we would say, hey, here's our past customers, go find people just like them. Nowadays, you're just not going to do a lookalike, you're going to do this, and then we're going to be doing open targeting. So I'll show you what that means in a second. Super weird this isn't working though. Let me just like refresh this and see if we can get it going. So weird, guys. Never even seen that, but we got to carry on here. So again, all website visitors 45 days is what goes there. And then here, all purchasers 180, as well as your custom list imported from your email list. If you don't know what I'm talking about, be sure to book a free call with me below. I will be pitching you on my further services though, so don't book it unless you're okay with that. Let's carry on. That is all you have to do here, okay? Special categories, like most of you aren't going to be these. These are just very rare, services that you have to be saying that you are. Otherwise, you're going to carry on. From there, you're going to either do website or website and shop, all right? These other ones are really message destinations. I don't even think it's like the way to go. I think it was kind of clever to mess around with that for a bit. Like it kind of had its thing last year where a lot of coaches would be like, DM me this word if you want to, get my free guide, blah, blah, blah. Well, let me just say that my approach to marketing since the beginning of 2024 and from now on, probably until Facebook and Instagram aren't a thing anymore. We're not trying to convince people to be in the market to want your product or service. We are only creating ads for people who are already in the market and ready to buy. And when you do that, your life will be a lot easier. We're not trying to convince people to want hats and say, hey, these cover your eyes. They look great. You can wear them on a run because they're sweat proof. Like you might say that, but it's just going to be a quick little bullet point. But we're not going to convince people that they should want hats because you can't. You actually have never been able to do so. And even with like the messaging destination for like coaches and stuff in the past, they might have done things like, hey, get my free guide on how to run Facebook ads. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to give you like free info like that. I'm going to maybe do an ad that runs to a video that you watch for 5 to 10 minutes, but I'm not doing this hour webinar. I'm not giving you a 27-page PDF before I try to turn you into a customer. I'm going to go right for the close because I already know that you're looking for Facebook and Instagram ads help right now because the algorithm is that good now. It already knows who's in the market this week to buy what you're selling. So make ads for those people. Now, website versus website and shop. This is if you have a Facebook or Instagram shop, all right, which you should have. It's helpful. At this point, they know who likes to buy from Facebook and Instagram shop versus a website. So I would recommend that you do this in almost every situation. You'll monitor the results and make sure that the ROAS of your shop is just as good, if not better, than your website. But very rarely does a business not do better from doing website and shop. It just kind of optimizes the destination of where to send them based off of where it knows they're willing to check out. Otherwise, it is completely fine. If you have any problems with your shop, I know a lot of you do. If you're a supplement company, you're not allowed to have a shop. There's like a lot of businesses that don't. You are totally fine. Just do website. Don't even worry about it. Maximize number of conversions, and then you have maximize value of conversions. How to make this decision? I've been testing it all year because maximize value of conversion sounds amazing, right? It basically says we're going to look for people who are likely to buy big orders. And I've liked to try this, or I've done it like every few months. I test it again, right? Because I'm the one who's got to be testing this stuff for you guys too. That's why you need to subscribe right now. But this is still produced much better results for me. Maximize number of conversions. I'm going to try again at the beginning of 2025. And as soon as I can get maximized value of conversions to work better, then I will let you guys know that probably if you're selling a product over $200, that's when you're going to want to do this. Otherwise, I've been testing it for a company that I sell a product that's $319, which sells great, guys. You can sell very expensive products. I sell $900 purses for companies as well. Okay. You don't have to be selling cheap products. I'm going to be giving you guys a really secret trick in a little bit here on if you want to sell expensive products, there's one thing that you need to do in order to do so. I'm going to show you that in a second here. But maximize value of conversions. This would work if I had my API integration in Pixel for this account, but this is my kind of burner account. It's for my ProBots company, which is how to build an AI chatbot on your website, which is another thing that I sell, and you guys can get a 14-day free trial to that. That massively impacts your ROAS, okay? That is a big game changer this last year for me, is AI chatbots that answer customers' questions instantly, perfectly, every single time. It lives on your website. It's 14-day trial, then it's $49 a month after that. Get that in the description. Test that out. Throw it on your website. You'll have it set up in 1 hour, okay? It trains itself by reading your website. But yeah, that's ProBots for you, and it really goes hand in hand with Facebook ads. Okay, so moving on here, dynamic creative. You guys will all be seeing something different based off of your country, based off of how long you've had your ad account. Most of you will see this though, and some of them say dynamic creative is gone. Some of them don't even have this, and you still have dynamic creative. What I would tell you is just don't worry about this anymore. Just ignore it. It will likely be going away soon. If they bring it back, I'd like that because I do like the option of having it, but because it will likely be gone soon, I mean, it's been saying this for like 6 months now, we're not going to cover it in this video, maybe in the next one if they decide to bring it back. Here is another very important part. Never set an end date. Under any circumstance, like the only time you'd ever set an end date is if you're like, this ad campaign has to turn off precisely at this time, and I will be out of the country with absolutely no reception, and I can't turn off this ad campaign myself. Otherwise, what it does is once it hits the end date, it will say complete. And if you want that ad campaign to turn back on, you're going to have to rebuild it or like duplicate it and like reset the results and everything. It's not a good idea. When you want your ad campaign to turn off, you're going to manually turn it off. There's no reason to tell them an end date right now, because how would you even know when you're going to turn it off? Like, unless it's a sale period that ends at a certain time, like how would you even know? Never, ever, ever set an end date. And then for the start date, it's always just right now. Like, you don't need to worry about setting that at all. A lot of times it will say something that says reset your start date to today. I just press that every single time I pass it. But this section, it's kind of worthless, honestly, the amount of times that you would have to use it. I've never used it effectively. The only time I used it was when I didn't know better, but there's no situation you're going to do it, and it can really screw you up. Oh yeah, what I just did it out of like total habit. You're going to have to scoot back in the video to see what I just did, but I clicked switch to original audience options because it wants to use what's called Advantage Plus Audience, which means We'll pick everything for you. Don't listen to this BS. Up to 33% lower cost per result, potential outcome, blah, blah, blah. Completely ignore this. Also, this section right here, never look into this. This means absolutely nothing. You could get 33% lower cost if you do this thing. BS, lies, 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 lies. None of this matters. Pay no attention to anything on the right here at all. When they say stuff like you might get 10 to 15 leads a day at the current budget, how would you know? How do you know what I'm even getting leads for? It would be impossible for them to know. So everything over here, estimated daily results, is the most BS thing that they've ever come out with. So please ignore this entire right column at all times and you'll do just great. So where we're going to start, what I will tell you, never start running ads to more than one country. A lot of you will be like, oh, let's do Canada and Australia, and like I'll put United Kingdom. Never do that. You're going to go to the place that is most likely to work and then scale to other countries after. Part of the reason why is because if it doesn't work in the country that is most likely to work, which is usually the one that you have the cheapest shipping cost to and the fastest shipping times to, then it's probably not going to work in the other ones. So don't waste your budget showing to most likely and least likely countries to work, because it's going to take forever for you to figure out which of your images and videos are working the best, which of your captions are going to work the best. You don't want to have it take way too long to figure out all of the creative side of it. Only ever start with one country, okay? No matter what kind of business you are, always start with one country. For age, this is something that it's okay to leave open, but I only narrow it down if I know for a fact that those other age groups, like it wouldn't even pertain to them, or like the likelihood that they would buy would be so little. I do have a jewelry company that does sell a little bit more mature of jewelry. It's more for women that are like, it's like Christian jewelry, and it's really like all the images are ladies like in their 40s and 50s even. I exclude like everyone under 30 for that company, but it's not a bad idea to leave it open for a lot of you and then let the results tell you what to do. But it also is totally okay if you're like, look, I really know from all the sales I've got, basically all of them fall between like 25 and like 55, then you can do that. Now, here's one extra little trick. When people do age, most people do very similar numbers, like the fives, right? 25, 55, they do stuff like that, which means that there's a lot of people who are 24 that are not being advertised to, and a lot of people that are 56 that are not being advertised to. So I usually like to add 1 year onto each side rather than doing these like concrete numbers like 25 to 45, like do 24 to 46, because there's so many 46-year-olds who are being cut off from ads. Because trust me, there's so many people that I've coached that all are like, to 45, to 50. Like everyone's going with these nice like 5s and 0 ending numbers. So always go like 1 or 2 years off from that, just to open it up a little bit more. Now, genders. This is something that you a lot of times actually do want to keep on all. If you are selling women's jewelry, then sure, I would probably tell you to start with women. And it's not even a bad idea to open it up to all, because it's not going to divide the budget evenly. It knows what you're selling. It knows that it's just going to show jewelry ads to men if they are actively looking for a gift and are really in that market. It is that good. So it is almost always okay to turn on all, unless you really know that one gender is just vastly more likely to buy. But what you do is, if you keep it on all, then what I would tell you to do is eventually you're going to click this breakdown button, and then you're going to go down here to demographics, and you're going to go to gender, and then you're going to look at the breakdown. And another little tip is, let's say that I had a ton of campaigns here. Gender is something that I just kind of want to look at the accumulation of all of my campaigns, so I can just have the most accurate data. If you press this button right here, this, like if I had data, it would let me. You can press that and it'll just show you male versus female of all ad campaigns considered. And then that will give you the most accurate data. And then you can see if either of the genders, even if they are getting sales, are just not profitable to run to. So you might see men are 2.7 ROAS and women are like 4.3 ROAS. In that case, if you're like, look, I'm okay with the 2.3, that's still profitable, keep men on. If you're like, no, I really want to strive for over 3 ROAS, then you would turn men off. But there's a lot of people out there, like I even had like a Pilates lady, and she's like, well, I should do women, right? You can start there. It's not a bad idea, but really, like, even Pilates was founded by a man, and it's not going to show to men unless Facebook knows that that guy is interested in Pilates or at least working out. Like, it's not going to even show to him. So already it's going to show to like 90% woman, even if you don't do anything. So I think the easiest way to put this, if over 95% of your customers are one of the genders, then maybe you can do that. But I also have a guy who sells stuff in the guitar market. Okay, guitarists are way more likely men. Women are much more profitable for him to advertise to. It only makes up about 10% of his business, but they're much more profitable to advertise to because it doesn't even show to women unless they play guitar. So this is another question to ask. Who would be a better client for me? A man who doesn't play guitar or a woman who does play guitar? In that case, a woman who does play guitar is a better customer. So in that case, leave it on all. All right. It's almost all of you should leave this on all, even though you're thinking like, unless you have a product that is exclusive for one gender, apart from gift sales, then I would probably just limit down to the one gender unless it's like a gift giving time of year, like right now. But the other little secret to why you want to do all is because when you do men, it only shows to men. When you do women, it only shows to women. When you do all, it shows to both of them, as well as people who haven't listed their gender yet. So there's people that, mark that they're trans or whatever that can also see the ads. But then there's also people who have just not told Facebook what their gender is yet. And that's the same thing with languages. They just haven't listed their language yet. But Facebook knows that they're an interested customer. So there's a lot of people that simply have not listed their gender yet that you won't show ads to unless you do all. So do that as well, because there's uncategorized is what everyone else falls under. And they're sometimes the most profitable people to run to is like the uncategorized. So leave that on. Now, here's another thing. Never press save audience, because once you press this, you can't change it, right? You just have to save it. And it's like basically make this audience my permanent audience. If I want to switch this stuff around, I don't want to have to build a new campaign. I want to just come in here and switch it. So you don't want to click save audience, even though it looks like something you should totally press. I understand that. Like everyone I coach is like, should I click save? I'm like, no. And then I'm like, oh, I can see how that makes sense, but no, you don't do that. Under advanced detailed targeting, the number one thing that you can do here is put nothing there. Put absolutely nothing there. I don't care who you are, what business you are. I don't care if your interests are in here. It almost never works better than just leaving it open, okay? Especially now, like at the beginning of 2024, it was like 75% of the time it would win. Now it's like all the time. I'm going to give you one example that will make this more clear to you. I was running ads for wedding photographers, okay? You can literally put in engaged. Like we were selling engagement sessions. Who better to sell engagement sessions to than people who have marked their relationship status as engaged? It's literally perfect. That didn't do nearly as well as leaving this open. Okay. Once that happened, I was like, okay, I'm never trying this again. Your life is so much easier. Like people who understand what this means for Facebook ads, it is the biggest upgrade that could have possibly happened, because otherwise in the past I had to be like, okay, I'm going to sell a fitness program. So like people interested in physical fitness, and then let me duplicate this. And then, for this ad, I'll do people interested in anytime fitness or fitness and figure competition. Okay, cool. And then let me duplicate this again, and then let me run to another audience. And then you just had this huge battle of the audiences going on. So not only do you have like 4 different videos and 3 different images and 4 different captions, but you also have 4 different ad sets or 10. Like a lot of people did 10 was like what their like true testing was kind of known for, is like you would do 10. Now there's no more ad set testing. Just leave it open for every business, no matter what you do. Just put nothing here. Now that only works if you do what I'm going to show you at the ad level. But to wrap up here, placements, Advantage Plus placements, I would just tell you to do this. They give you quite the discount if you do Advantage Plus placements. In the past, I was a big fan of turning off certain locations like search results, which isn't a good spot to show ads to. I turn off like apps and sites a lot of the times. The discount that they give you for doing Advantage Plus placements is significant enough, and they know where to put it. They're pretty good at that this is one of the few things that I give Facebook control over, and it also just makes ads that much easier to set up. Also, languages. If you're trying to sell something that if it's a English-based company and you really want to sell stuff to people in Italy and they need to speak English, maybe. Otherwise, leaving this on all is totally fine because it can see what language you wrote the ad in and it knows what language they speak. So it's already going to do it correctly. So how I would name this audience, I mean, I call it open targeting, but then this would be 24 to 56. And then like if I wanted to say US, I would do that. Another note though, how you name your, like there's nothing that tells me how good someone is at Facebook ads than just seeing how they name things. I know that if you give the most complicated name that you don't know what you're doing. Unless it's dead simple, then I think that you don't know what you're doing. Now, here's the thing. If I only run ads in the US, I don't need to say this. I only need to say how this ad set would be different than other ad sets. Otherwise, I don't need to say something. If 24 to 56 is every ad set that I run, I don't need to say this. I only need to put what is being tested here. So if I do all these other ad sets, which I would in this case, because what else would they be, then this is just going to be called open targeting because that's what's going on. I'm only going to denote the country and the ages if I have other ad sets for other countries and ages that I'm really doing a test between. But even then, you don't need to do that because you would just go to this breakdown button, and then you could do geography by country or demographics by age and gender, and you could still easily just refine it as long as you don't click the save audience button, because then you can just come in and be like, you know what, it's not working to women, like let's just do men. Like you could just come in here and switch it on a dime. You don't need to have a different ad set going on. So that's the beauty. That's what makes this so much easier than other years. Let's get into the fun stuff, guys. We're going to do the actual ad here. So we're going to do an ad for ProBots, the best AI chatbot software out there. And it does come with a free course on how to set it up. And we're not going to name the ad yet because I don't know what to name it. Manual upload is the way to go. Advantage Plus catalog ads. This one isn't nearly as bad as Advantage Plus shopping ads, by the way. What this does is it goes to your website and it grabs the images that you have on your product listing and it makes ads for you out of those. It's a way that allows you to just create ads way quicker. So then rather than uploading your own images, it just grabs the images from your website. Now, the benefit of doing this, I only do this for retargeting campaigns. I'll probably have to come out with a video on just how to set up a very basic but a very effective retargeting campaign, because it usually is just using Advantage catalog ads, because this will show them the products that they've been looking at. It will create ads out of the images on your website, but it will take into account which products they've been looking at as far as which products it uses. So that's why that's the only time I use this. Otherwise, it's going to be manual upload. Flexible has tons of bugs. I don't like it at all. Basically, what Flexible does is you just give them like, here's 5 videos, here's 5 images, let's say. And then what it will do is it will make 5 single image ads as well as 1 carousel ad. So Flexible is just single image and carousel combined, but we don't want to do that. And there's also a lot of other bugs that are going on with Flexible right now. So just do either single image or carousel. Collections don't work, okay? It makes a very pretty experience, but basically it just is a long ad for a very short thing. Okay, if we want to sell hats, it's going to just show the hat. It's going to say that it's sweat proof. It's going to say the price maybe. It's going to say that it's on sale. And when the sale ends, it's going to show the different designs and varieties of the hats. And that's it. That's all that needs to be explained. We don't need to give them this long-winded experience before we allow them to check out. So never do collections, never do flexible. It's either single image or carousel. So let's grab an image. And then here's another thing. Okay, this is so important, guys. This creative setup right here, most of you can just skip this because this is for site links. And as you can kind of see here, a site link is something that they stole from Google Ads, and it just allows you to put multiple links into your ad. This is not a good idea for pretty much any of you. On Google, it's a good idea because like basically what it looks like is a site link. Like let me say gyms near me. Let me see if this gives me something good. Like this, they're not using site links. They're not using site links either. Let me put in like plastic surgeons because I try to have them as a company. These are what are called call only ads. Man, most of this is more often used than not, so they're not using it either. Let me try one more company. Roofing. So here we go. Like here's site links. Contact us, about us, instant roof estimate, services offer, area served, blog. Okay, like it just gives you all of these different links. On Google, it's not a bad idea because of the moment that you're catching them in. These people are a little bit more in research mode, and they willingly typed this in. They're not just scrolling the feed in a fast scroll and then all of a sudden you're hitting them with an ad. So this is more acceptable to use on Google. On Facebook, though, you're just giving them this fatigue. Your ad should be pitching one thing and then linking to that one thing. So if you just ignore site links, you'll be great. I would just completely ignore this step. I also would tell you, don't do your text right now because this is not the time for you to be writing a caption. So skip right to media, okay? You're going to skip right to media. And then let me see about like my ProBots company, if I can find one of those ads. All right, cool. This ad didn't do great, but I'm just going to grab this one and we're going to upload it, okay? So I've got that ad. And business owners get his custom trained AI chatbot to save more time on staff answering repetitive customer questions, book more with a bot that's trained to schedule appointments, sell more with a bot that suggests products like your top sales rep, $49 a month, cross out, 14-day free trial. This format is a good ad though. I want to say that. Like this is okay. I'm just spitting it out. I'm just telling them the benefits and the price because that is actually all that is necessary to sell most things. But at this phase, here is a new button and why I was like, I need to come out with this video. Check this off, okay? Check this off because what it's going to do is it's going to make your ad like this. Sometimes it's okay. If you're like doing a clothing company, it just zooms in real nice. There you go. Otherwise, even if I do original here, checking this on makes your ad do that because it wants to do that because it thinks that's a good idea. In this case, that is terrible to zoom in like that, right? So we're going to leave it on original. Now for here, this is pretty impossible to read. Where this will show up is when you log in on Facebook on desktop, at the top right corner, there is an ad that is a horizontal ad. And if it's this small, you can't really read it. So I'll usually do this. I'll zoom in and then I'll go like that and I'll just, hey, if they can just see the word business owners and a little bit more, it might do okay. Sales don't happen here though. So I ultimately don't care too much. I will say that. Like the Facebook ads, desktop right column on the top right, you should consider that more of like a touch point area, but very rarely do people convert from there. So I don't really care ultimately, but if it's impossible to even see what's going on, just zoom in and then give them the part that's going to work the best. You can also crop it and then, do it that way. Or if I wanted to create a 9:16 version of this ad, then what I could do here is I could say replace, and then I could pick the 9:16 version of that ad. And that is how to hyper optimize your ad campaign. But what I will say is Before I know if this pitch will even work, I don't really care about making the 9x16 version and this version, because this works fine. Like when people see this on their story, they're not going to be like, oh, it doesn't even take up the full screen. Like you will get 1 to 3% better results having the vertical placement. So I can figure out if this ad campaign is going to work or not just fine, just from doing this. So I'm usually just going to test without putting up a bunch of extra work into the graphics. But if the ad campaign is crushing it, then I will come back and I will make a 9x16 version of this. And then I will click the replace, because it will just do, hey, in the vertical placements, it will show that instead. But look, it tried to turn that back on again. I'm turning it off. Boom, boom. Next. AI generation. This usually looks absolutely ridiculous, okay? The AI images that it's trying to give you usually look so dumb. It can't do it with this. This is all text. It will try to give you images, like just skip and continue, okay? Enhancements. Enhanced CTA is a great concept. It just came out. Extremely buggy. Don't use this. Add overlays. Never. Visual touch-ups, you're going to look at what it does. You're just going to look at the different images and see what it does. In this case, it's not even zooming in on it, so it doesn't look like it's going to do anything. Usually that one off is the way to go. Music, this will give you terrible music. Watch. That's about as good as it gets. Oh, it's going to do Christmas time in Union Square. Yeah, thank you for my AI chatbot offer. I want Christmas music. It will usually give you terrible music. If you want to spend time picking music, you can do that, but it doesn't increase your results. The only time it increases your results is if you add Christmas music for a Christmas sale and it matches the vibe of it. Otherwise, add your own music so that you can find the right stuff. But otherwise, just turn this off, okay? And then text improvements, always off, okay? What that's going to do, I'll show you in a sec what that does. Text improvements, always off. Add overlays, always off. Image animation, this image is not compatible, but a lot of times it looks really, really cool. So you can see exactly what it does. It kind of just adds some motion to it. It usually does a really good job. I usually keep this on. Now, why did I turn it on even though it's not compatible? Because I want Facebook to think that I'm using their features to earn their good favor, so that they will think, oh, he's using our features and hopefully give me a discount. It's a theory, but it's a lot of times how they work. So it's not a bad theory. So in this case, whenever it says not compatible, I do turn it on. Otherwise, you're just going to want to look, like when it is compatible, just look at what it shows you, because it will show you the preview. And if it looks dumb, then don't do it. If it looks cool, go for it. And then we're going to go done. Now, one other thing though is before you move on, always scroll to the bottom, because it will try to hide some on you, and it will say see more enhancements, and you'll click on that. And then you can sometimes, like, it will hide the music or text improvements or whatever. And you want to make sure that it's off. So we're going to go done there. Now, how to write the perfect caption every single time, regardless of what business you're in, is reserved for my coaching program. Sorry, right now I'm still drawing the line that if you want my exact how to write the perfect caption every single time, you can even book a single coaching call with me and I will teach you it. It is so systemized and works perfect every single time. And how you write your caption is how the targeting works. So what I was saying before, the secret, I'm going to give you one little variable, okay? This is the most common thing that a lot of people do. Just do this. Hey, business owners. Okay? Just call out your audience. Hey, business owners. A lot of you don't have a clearly defined audience. If you're selling clothing, if you want to say like, hey guys, or hey men, like even though that's still like a little broad, but you could be like, do you love streetwear? Right? Like if you're selling streetwear, or something, are you looking to get, I don't say, do you want your fit to go hard though? Right? That would be like, if you're selling clothing, do you want a hard fit? Even if people get that, like I'm probably saying it wrong. It's Gen Z, I'm millennial. I don't know exactly how you kids say it. Facebook, how the targeting works is it reads your caption, and that it doesn't know what hard fit is. Okay. So you have to use matter of fact language that can't be possibly misinterpreted is how to write your caption. Okay. I'm not going to give you my full exact process, but I will tell you, Don't use language like this. Want to blow up your sales, business owners? Facebook is going to read that and be like, blow up your sales. What does that mean? Okay. You could say, are you ready to increase your business's profitability? You get it. Okay. You're just going to use language that Facebook can read and know exactly what you're selling and exactly who you're selling to. If you have that be your guide, you'll do great. Exactly what you're selling, exactly who you're selling to is what your caption should be based about. And it should almost never exceed 3 sentences. All right. That's what I'm going to tell you. Headline, the guideline for writing the perfect headline is if they only read this, they'll know what to click. Now, the headline only appears on Facebook. I will say, though, if you do a carousel ad, it does add your headline to the start of your caption on Instagram. It's super confusing, super annoying. Otherwise, it does not show on Instagram at all when you are doing a single image. So in this case, get an AI chatbot on your website for 14 days for free is what I'm going to write. And it will look like, oh my gosh, it's going to do this bull crap. It's been doing this lately. Hold on. Give me 1 sec to fix this. I think it might need me to put in the link. So, how to get the ProBots trial. You go, of course, pro-bots.ai/trial. And then now it's going to show the headline. So it's kind of buggy right now. Unless you have a website URL in, it's not going to show you what your headline looks like. Now that headline is just a little bit too long for it to fit, right? So let me say, get an AI chatbot on your site for 14 days for free. That is how to just spit it out. Just spit it out. What is your offer? Just say it. Just say what it is. Like Black Friday sale, 50% off live now. That's not actually good. Black Friday sale on all clothing, on all apparel live now. If they only read this, they'll know why they should click. If they only read this, they'll know why they should click. That's how to write a headline. You're not trying to you're not trying to build value here. Like you'll build value in the way that you write it, but you're just talking about the offer. You're just telling them about the offer here. Description. I'm going to give you, now I do have I have a ton of different, here's all of my working descriptions. I have to draw the line somewhere on get in my coaching program if you want to write the perfect primary text, headline, and description every single time. I'm going to give you one secret though. If you're selling expensive products, what you're going to do is put the price here. Just going to put the price there. Now, it doesn't show the preview on here, but what it looks like is that it goes there. Okay. Why this works is because Facebook now knows the cost of what you're trying to sell. Also, why it works is that it knows, if someone clicks on your ad, they're going to see the ad another 5 times, at least. If they click on your ad, you're going to pay for them to see another 5 times. If I'm selling something expensive, I don't want to show them the coolest handbag they've ever seen. And then they click I wonder if it's $100. And then they click and they're $900. And they don't, they're I can't afford that. But now I have to pay for them to see the ad 5 more times. I don't want you to click on the ad unless you agree with that price. And that will also make your ads algorithm optimize around high quality customers. If you're ever selling something expensive, no matter how expensive it is, always put the price in the ad. Now, if you're doing a coaching program and you want to do a free call before you say the price, I get it. That's not the worst. But even then, I'll say it's not the worst to be $750 per month. If you have a coaching program that's $750 per month, I used to have, you could just say that, it's fine. Now that same program, because I just had way too much demand, it's $12.97. I can put that there. It's okay to just put the price here, and it's one of the best things that you can do. Now, one other bonus tip, if your item is on sale, let's say it's $900 down to $650, I could either put $650 or I could put $900. Put $900. Because if they're oh, I love that, I'm going to click $900, and then they go to the next page and it's $650. Now it seems like an even better deal because they already agreed to the 900. Someone who's at 650 versus 900, like they're the same customer, right? But if they agree like 900, like why is it worth that? Like that's not the worst price. Let me see why it's 900. They click 650 on the next page. They're going to be like, all right, I'm buying it, right? So I always still put the retail price here. Last thing that I'm going to teach you guys, what should you put here? If you are trying to sell like clothing or something where there's a lot of variables, like variations of the product, do shop now. Shop now is for variations. Order now is if you're trying to sell the one product in your ad, then do order now. So it's either order now or shop now. Leads and stuff is going to be get quote. I don't use get offer. Download is okay if it makes sense. But basically it's just, should you do learn more or something else? It's better to do the other ones. I don't want you to click if you're just trying to learn, because what's going to happen is if they click, they're going to see the ad at least 5 more times. I don't want them to click. I want them to scroll on. Unless you're really willing to shop, I don't want you to click on my ad. I want you off my ad ASAP as well. So just either do shop now or order now when it comes down to product-based businesses. That is what I got for you guys. Be sure you're subscribed, book the free call, get your free chatbot software, like the video, comment 8 times, and then like Venmo me as well. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video.